Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
We play to win. Let's go!
Here we go. Set. 60 outlaw.
On first down, Humphries, and he's got his man on the out route. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
22 is coming. 22 is coming. Look at me. Go. Ready.
Operating from the gun, Humphries. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Set, ready? 70, Indy. So don't say nothing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check. Watch the pass. Here we go. Wide. Get wide. Check.
Get it.
On 2nd down now, Dobbins. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, Alpha.
They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Mike's 50.
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Pretty fortunate there. The interception that ended the last drive, and then, boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him to question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
To throw again. Humphries. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
They're running it.
X3, 218, jump. Hey, Haywood.
On third down, Humphries. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now it's Lockett. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
44 to Mike, 44 to Mike.
Ready?
And he'll give it here to his running back. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, first down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
First down. Set. Ace read.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Shoot.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on first and 10.
It's outside. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3.
Hey, lock it.
Check 1, 3.
Hit it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Yeah, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right now. Slam, slam, slam.
Topper, topper.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready, break.
Mike Bobo. Target, 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 target.
Snap.
Now a handoff looking right. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It's 3rd down and 6.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Looking to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Ready.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Yo, go, go.
Whip, whip. Watch the whip. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Let's go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Not today.
2nd and 3. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Mike's Fofo.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Humphries. Throw left side complete. That's Hernandez. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. From the gun on 3rd down, Humphries. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now they try the right side here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness, off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Now! Hey, exit!
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And out of bounds. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the screen. Shoot. Ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Caught by Jones. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
To throw on 3rd down, Humphries. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he'll give it here to his running back. Got some room at the 30. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Check. Think you gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this? 80 weapons. You think you gonna get this? Back.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
On first down, Dobbins. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On second down, Dobbins. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Let's go now. 15 line.
I'm coming after you.
Hard.
I'm coming after you. Check.
Snap.
Check.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Get ready.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Hey, check 24, check 20.
Hey, Sam on. Ready?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
Hey, wahoo!
Mike Spoke. Watch the pass.
Get it.
Now back to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is good. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On second down now, Dobbins. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Go. Right here, right here. Hey, check, Mike.
Off the play fake. Humphries. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 55 yards. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's caught here by Adams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Zadarius Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
Ready? 70, Indy. 50. Come on, D. Get it.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5.
On the double.
Check 52, come on. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Shoot.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Jones down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught. He got 29 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I don't know if there's any other way to put it, but that play was blown up right from the snap. How about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? It's almost like they were in the offensive huddle.
Yeah, it's one thing to stand him up from that 1-yard line. Pushing him back to the 5, though. Wow.
Yeah, I like what you just said there. Not just stand them up, but they end up making a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
57 to Mike. There's a party now. Whoa. Mike's 57 now.
2nd and 5. Touchdown, Packers. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Slam, slam, slam. Let's go.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Watch twitch. Watch 6-6. Bullet high. Mike.
Ready?
back to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Just like that. Fofo's the Mike. Mike's Fofo.
Rock it.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly.
Here we go.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Johnson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter.
Ready? 18, Gator.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Packers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Check.
57. Mike.
Go on.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Keep on.
Operating from the gun. Humphreys. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. Returnable for Lockett. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
Got it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I'm telling my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll set up a throw. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Team spill.
44 to Mike. 44.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. The Vikings on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. Back to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. Past the 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. Right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Out.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
I'm going to come back to you.
Look at me. Door. Watch the shit. Hey, Echo.
Mike's 40. I'm here all day. Check. 40's Mike. 40's a Mike. 40's a Mike. Got to do better. Come on, QB. Come on.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage. But
blitz coming, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself. You still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
Here we go. 60 yards.
I got one.
2.
And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying,